It's funny you talk about this about moving forward and the juvenile things. I I used to love, and I do it every morning, reading the New York Post online. I'm
Hmm.
a New York fan. I live in Boston,
Hmm.
so I have to get my outlet elsewhere.
Sure.
And I used to love reading the front pages of the New York Post because some of it was hilarious. I can't read it anymore. It's just too much doom, gloom, this finger, that finger, this is happening, that's happening. We're not going to be able to eat blueberries because all the people that picked them are gone, right? It's just so ridiculous.
Eggs are or $4 per egg now because
Right.
of some bird flu, right? And it's just like all things, like all things, this too shall pass. Isn't that what it says in the good book, right?
Yes.
The point is, I'm not saying to ignore this stuff. What I'm saying is to take it in context. Take it in context. Realize what you're here for. Getting back to being a mentor, like Rick said. Getting back to the lemon guys that found their passion. It's there. It's there for everybody. It's there for you. It's there for me. You got to look. You got to try
Yeah.
to find it. So, like this gum on chew, was your thing, Scott, and this is going to be a big year for you. You gotta move on down the road, man. You gotta move on down the road.
Keep at it. Yep.
So, but that's it.
The thing that I want to get your opinion on something because this was something that I wanted to chat about. And you can call me crazy, you know.
Okay.
Do you think, and I'll explain the reasons why I think this. Do you think we are about to approach another .com technology explosion, but this time powered by artificial intelligence investments? And I'll explain
Um,
why I think that.
okay. I'm not sure, honestly.
So this is why I think this, right? So you and I were around in the late 1900s, right? You and I remember the .com boom, right? You
Yep.
and I remember how wild of a time it was. All this optimism about what the internet could bring into our lives. It didn't matter if you understood technology, right? If you had a solution, you looked good in a suit or a dress, and you know how to talk, and you had an idea, it opened doors, right?
Yep.
I so today, and it's been over the past few months, I kind of have that, you know, history repeating itself buzz brewing around AI. Companies left and right now are talking about it, either creating it or claiming to have the solutions. The only difference, Jim, that I see as a positive is the maturity of the decision makers and consumers as opposed to the late 1900s, early 2000s. And it's one of the reasons that I think that we could be on the brink of a repeat tech explosion, but I think we might be better equipped this time. I also think, and you could comment on this too, and this will be my last point, I think we could possibly witness a one person multi-million dollar company that's powered by one individual that is using AI for, you know, uh, developing sales, code, sources, whatever it may be. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot there in what you said, right? Um, do I think when AI is fully vetted out, we're going to have the answer of whether or not it's going to change the world or not? I don't think we're close to it yet. I also think if you put a gun to my head, why did I say I'm not sure? There's a couple reasons. One, during the time frame where we lived through it once before, you and I, as did a lot of other people, a lot of the technology that was coming out was so drastically new, right?
Yeah.
There was nothing like it beforehand, right? So, and I know AI is a different animal, but we've been through so many machinations of different technology that I think a lot of businesses that are going to consume this type of solution are have been jaded by the amount of technology they bought that didn't really do what it said it was going to do, didn't have any cost savings or anything like that, or there was no real return on investment. So I think that's going to elongate the time before the explosion. Secondly, I think that very few people have a real handle on the practical applications of AI past ChatGPT. You know, do I think there's going to be certain sectors of the economy that will get affected more than others? Sure. But just like moving information to the cloud off of a mainframe hasn't been universally accepted still. You know, the big financial houses in New York City still have stuff on mainframe. A
Yes.
lot of healthcare organizations still have stuff on mainframe. We talk about
Yes.
HIPAA compliance and medical, and they always will. Right?
Yes.
You can graduate college now and me know how to code and work in mainframe and get 100 grand right out of college as a
Hmm.
salary. Why is that in 2025? Because they're not going to ever get rid of it.
Right.
So the story still needs to be told about AI. I think it's so fascinating. I think there's certain areas, digital marketing, graphic design, visual arts, that are clearly going to get affected.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know, Scott. I'm not 100% sold on the next wave of the explosion.
So I agree with you, right? I want to say one thing here. I agree with you that we don't know, right? But if you think, and I keep saying history repeats itself, right? And I just have this feeling because it's like, yes, you and I agree that it hasn't been ironed out, and there's a lot of things that they think are going to change, and it's not. Just like you said with the mainframe, but despite all the chaos in the
Mm,
era, it laid the foundations for what we know about technology today, right? Yes, it was a bubble. That bubble burst, but it did instill some long-term changes, and
right.
specifically around how businesses evolve with technology.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, here's let me give you an example. Um, I'm not 100% certain on the time frame. Could have been 10 years ago, maybe more. Where social selling, social media software, and social media platforms via that being an offering in companies and technology um, that arose out of nothing, selling that, and it was so buzzy, and everyone was buying it. People were selling tons of that stuff, and then after about 18 months, CFOs said to most their own people, "What are we paying $500,000 a year for? What are we getting out of this? We're posting online. We're
Mhm.
doing surveys, customer loyalty programs. Like, what are we doing here? Where's
Right.
the return on investment?" And when you peel it back, all of the technologies that have come and gone, i.e., e-discovery, right? Certain
Mhm.
type of container softwares, and then something like social media marketing software that have come and kind of just faded away. It's for that reason.
Yeah.
Where's the ROI? Where are you saving, a $40 billion company money?